justice to this topic. All I'll try to do is to look at real life scenario, which we see on the day-to-day basis, which I want to call to the attention of all those who are listening today to this topic. What we know is that when we are in school, we are trained as scientists. We are trained to be precise. We are trained to be focused. We are trained not to even make mistakes, as we're always told that any mistake a pharmacist makes could lead to the death of someone. And we come out more or less regimented. So we always believe in our intelligence quotient, the one that many of us know. In fact, I never got to know about other quotients until I left school. So we paid a lot of attention to it, being the best in the class, being the best, in the school. When you come out and you're practicing, you want to be the best in what you do as a professional. But the point that I think that the Pharmacist Affairs Entrepreneurial College want to call to our attention today is that to be successful in life, intelligent quotients alone will not give it to you. So what do we see amongst our colleagues, especially pharmacists? We have expert knowledge, which is great, but expert knowledge doesn't do it all for us. And that is where intelligence quotient or emotional intelligence, advanced intelligence, as they call it, also social intelligence, managerial intelligence, and all of that, which are always also equated to quotients, come to play. So, for example, we have seen situations where pharmacists that are very knowledgeable, very intelligent, they leave school and for some years, they are either not good entrepreneurs, or they try and they fail, or they find themselves being employed by those who are not even as educated as themselves. And this is what the emotional intelligence that we are going to discuss today calls our attention to, which is what makes us aware of our feelings and that of others. And by using it to position ourselves properly to benefit from, what we see and what we get around us. So now you'll find a situation like I've mentioned where pharmacists, maybe you say young pharmacists, but it's not only young pharmacists, even very elderly pharmacists are being employed by traders. It's something that tells you that you need something much more beyond your intelligence quotient. And that's why Prof mentioned a lot, talked about entrepreneurship and what it takes to be an entrepreneur. This is quite different from your intelligence, okay? Now, we look at it in the workplace, for example, where it is, more structured, a more corporate environment. How does the pharmacist play, even in pharmaceutical companies? You find out that the fact that you're a pharmacist, you know the molecule, you have the product knowledge, you know the science behind the molecule, it doesn't make you to grow in the association, in the company or organization where you belong, because much more will be expected of you. You should be able to manage what is, you manage upwards and manage downwards and manage horizontally. So at whatever level you find yourself, either you are coming at an entry level and you're a medical rep, or you are a production pharmacist, as the case may be, you should be able to see the environment you are as where you play. It's not just enough to say I'm a pharmacist and I have the knowledge. You should be able to relate with your peers. You should be able to relate with your seniors. You should be able to relate with your juniors in order to win yourself a measure of goodwill, so that when things begin to happen in the company, you are recognized as someone who is you can solve problems, you can handle challenges, and you can bring results. Okay, so it is in applying your intelligence, emotional intelligence, that you are able to do all of this. And so I believe that as we discuss today, we will find ways to improve this emotional intelligence, which I think that's the job that Sheso is going to do. Now, I want to recall this experience that someone narrated to me. you could realize that over the past, let's say 30 years ago, 25 years ago, there was no WhatsApp and all of this social media. So let's say in the past 7 years, 5 years, some classes are beginning to set up their class WhatsApp groups, to interact amongst themselves, to get together. And someone was telling me that when they created their own class WhatsApp group, one of their friends in the class went to find the results, the final result of everybody in the class, and he pasted it in the platform. That person was being consoled that he or she had a better grade than many of the people in the class. But that's just intelligence quotient. That's just your ability to read and reproduce what you read. People have moved on in life 20 years, 30 years afterwards. And this person is still believing that the grade he made in school, 25 years ago is something to, rely on. And these are the things that we must call to our own attention, that there is need for us to be more participate more in our environment. And that is where it comes to be that when we're in university, we say there are people who have a triangular lifestyle. They go from their room to their hostel, to the classroom, to the refectory, and back to the room. You should be able to interact more in your environment in order to improve your intelligence, emotional intelligence. You should be able to participate in your church or in your mosque activities. You should be able to find some social environment where you participate and hold forth and be able to contribute positively to the community that you are in and all of that. So on this note, I would like to also link this to the mental power, creating your mental ability, improving your mental ability. And this you can do, which is also not related particularly to intelligence, but being able to use your experience, your life experience and common sense to be able to improve your ability to take decisions and to move on in life. So on this note, touching on all of this, I hope that as Sheso comes on stage, we'll be able to relate more to this and be able to improve ourselves, not just relying only on our intelligence, but also our emotional intelligence, our advanced intelligence, business intelligence, managerial intelligence, and all of that to make our lot the better. So thank you very much for having me, and I'm very glad to be here.